Single mom. So in my last two videos, I have been addressing the sex sin that occurs in the church today. The first sin that I addressed was the premarital sex sin and how we as single women and single mothers are judged and ridiculed harshly when this happens to us. This is such an injustice. I even gave scripture about what God, Jesus, and Apostle Paul said about sins, period. Moving forward, I did another video about the child molestation that occurs in church that's swept up under the carpet that no one wants to have conversations about. The statistics were very, very startling. I don't know, my opinion only. Is it because people in the church in management are doing this a lot of times and no one wants to talk about it? You may want to view those two videos. Today, I want to go back to that premarital sex sin, and we're going to do a deeper dive on our topic today. So, I talk to a lot of women. I've been in church my whole life, like many of you, and a conversation that occurs a lot of times, it goes something like this. Yeah, and keep in mind, these women are anywhere between late 50s and early 70s. I remember when I got pregnant when I was 15 years old, and I had to go before the church and apologize. Immediately, my heart is like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for this lady. First of all, what pastor with any love in his heart would do this to one of his members? Second of all, people that know me know the type of personality that I have. I don't think that I would have done that, but you never know until you dealt with that. Why would I apologize to a group of sinners when they have the same capability of doing what I have done or what anyone else have done? We're human. We all have the ability to sin. Third, what was the takeaway for that lady? What was her snapshot of ministry from that point on? What does she really feel? She was dealt with a lot of trauma that probably was never dealt with. So that was not my experience, but I'll share my experience here. You know, I'm a mother of 3. And so my last 2 sons, I was not married when I had those. Unfortunately, my middle son's father passed away. But I remember when I was trying to get my kids dedicated, the sons, and 2 pastors turned me down because we were not married at that time. And so what they did was my middle son's dad went to his pastor, his own pastor where he served under, told him no. And then I remember with my 3rd son, he was a pastor. We were going to the church and he was my mom's cousin and he turned me down. So I'd like to know in the comments from these last 3 videos what your feelings are, your emotions, if any of this have ever happened to you. And until later.